What does Amazon, Whole Food, and the Mark of the Beast have in common? Well, I guess Amazon is being ran by the devil. So here's what Fox 7 says, and you can look this up. All the news media outlets are reporting on this, but on Fox 7 Austin, it says Amazon One is bringing its palm scanning payment technology to all Whole Food Market stores across the country. By the end of the year, the technology will be available in 500 store locations. This means that all the Whole Food Market customers who choose to use Amazon One will no longer need their wallet or even phone to pay. They can simply hover their palm over Amazon One device and essentially pay for their food with their palm. With their palm. They're gonna pay with their food with their palm. Amazon, they created this technology a couple years ago. I believe they have a store. They own their personal store where you can walk in, pay for everything with a microchip in your hand that you would have in place in your hand. Um, this is crazy. Like, who would even agree to having a microchip that's connected to your bank account that you would pay for everything that you buy with that microchip? I would not do it. Even if I wasn't a Christian, I wouldn't do it because it's just crazy. This is some sci-fi stuff. Technology is insane. What's even more crazy, read what the Bible says. Everyone that says the Bible is outdated, that is not related to anything going on today, here's a prophecy from the Bible. It says, let's see, let me see if I can find it. Okay. The first beast comes out, and then the second beast comes out. Here's what it says about the second beast. In Revelations 13:11, it says, Then I saw another beast rising up from the earth. It had two horns like a lamb, and it spoke like a dragon. It exercised all its authority of the first beast in its presence, and made the earth and all the inhabitants worship the first beast. Those mortal wounds were healed. It performed great signs, even causing fire to come down from the heavens to earth in front of all people. By the signs that it allowed to work in the presence of all the beasts, it devises those who dwell on the earth, telling them to make an image of the beast that was wounded by the sword and yet lived. And it was allowed to breathe, to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast might speak its name and cause those who would not worship the image of the beast to be slain. Also, it caused all, both great, small and great, both rich and poor, free and slave, to be marked in the right hand or the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he had the mark. The mark in the right hand or the forehead. Buy and sell. You can't do economics. Forget about having a job. Forget about your way of life. You want to buy some land. You want to start your own company. You want to buy some food for your family. Forget about it. You're not buying nothing unless you take this mark. And then it says in verse 18, this calls for wisdom. Let the one who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for the number of the beast is the number of a man. The number 666. It says that they received the mark in the right hand or the forehead. The word mark in the Greek, it means a scar. They received a scar of some kind. In order to have this microchip implanted in your hand or your forehead, you need to have it implanted with a needle, and it would leave what? A scar. Now, a lot of people don't want to hear this because it's scary, and I don't want to know that the world's going to end. Here's the thing about it. The Bible tells us later on that those who receive the mark, they will face the judgment of God. That God's wrath will pour on the earth against those who have received the mark. And we're seeing it right here in America, of all places. I got good news for you though. I believe it's like 5 or 6 states in the United States who have outlawed this kind of technology in a not completely outlawed it, but in a way that employers cannot force their employees to receive the mark, but you can get the mark or get the microchip, on your own time, your own basis. You still got the freedom to do whatever you want, but you cannot force your employees in those certain states to take a microchip and put it in your hand, put it in your forehead. Now, something else scientifically, right, with this microchip, the way that it kind of stays charged inside of in between your thumb and your index finger, you got that little lobe. You know what I mean? That little lopey part, that soft part. There's some kind of, I'm not a scientist, guys, but there's some kind of liquid inside your hand that actually causes the microchip to stay charged up, or it like keeps the microchip charged. And that same liquid just happens to be right there in that soft part of your forehead too, to help it keep the microchip charged. And God made our bodies that way, but the devil is going to take what God made good and use it for his evil plans. Now we can remember the verse that all things work together for those who love God, called according to his purposes. God is not going to forsake his people at the end of the day, but he does give each and every one of us what's called a free will. We have the free will to take the mark. I hope if you're listening to this, you know not to take the mark. Something else I want to point out. It says it's the mark of the beast, the second beast. So the first beast comes out, then the second beast comes out. There's a one world government that takes place because they set up an image of the beast to worship the beast. So there's a one world government. We see that with the Pope. We see that with the religious leaders of all the religious organizations around the world. They're coming together and they're trying to make a one world government. Guys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, all roads do not lead to heaven. Christianity teaches that Jesus Christ is the only way to heaven. And that's what set Christianity apart the last 2,000 years. That's what caused so many of the apostles in the first 300 years of Christians in the church to be persecuted and put to death. Is because we claimed there is no other God. There is no other way to heaven. Yahweh is the only God. That Jesus is the Son of God. There is one God and one way to heaven. And that's what offended the pagans during the first 300 years of church history. We said there is no other way. To the point that the pagans were actually called Christians atheists. Yeah, Christians were called atheists for believing that there was one God, because the pagans believed that there was many gods. And one day there's going to be a one world government set up to worship a false god. And Christians in that time, and that time is very soon, will have to stand up and put their lives on the line. Be willing to die for the same truth that the Christians in the first 300 years of church history were willing to die, with the claim that there is only one God. His God is Yahweh, Yeshua, Jehovah, Elohim. In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. That message, that truth, will offend everyone during that time period when this is at the climax. And as the church, as the people of God, we need to rise up, stand firm, and not lose faith. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1:1. I wanted to say that because I read something just now that just kind of clicked. So in Genesis 1:1, it says heavens with an S. But in Revelations 13, it says heaven, just one heaven. It doesn't say heavens, it just says heaven. It's in, let me see if I can find it. Yep, verse 13. It performs great signs, even making fire come down from heaven to earth in front of people. Let me tell you guys, God, Elohim, the creator, the one that created the heavens and the earth, he created the heavens and the earth. He's in charge of the heavens and the earth. But the devil's in charge of the earth, the heaven, the one heaven, and that's the sky and the earth. Jesus says that the prince of the earth is Satan for a little while. And right here it says that, Satan's gonna cause fire to come down from the heaven. And that's just the sky. Yeah, Satan got the authority to do whatever he wants between the sky and the earth. But God, the God that we worship, he's on the throne. He's up there in the actual heaven, in the real heaven. He's on the throne. He's reigning. He's in charge. He's coming back. But the question is, are you ready? Are you ready for the second coming of Jesus Christ? Because it's coming. It's coming. I'm telling you. It's gonna come so fast you won't even see it. So are you ready?